Goku and Vegeta are about to take on their next big opponent. However, we're not even 100% sure at this point if Granola is in fact the big bad. We still have the leader of the Heaters, Elec, Frieza's definitely going to come back into play at some point during this arc, and there is OG73, which who knows what else OG73 knows. This video is sponsored by the video game Dragon City, which you can download with the link in the description. You've probably heard of how they made unique dragons for many top YouTubers like Dream, Mr. Beast, Dude Perfect, Lazar Beam, and more. In fact, they held a contest through Mr. Beast where they awarded $15,000 to the player with the highest score. Train your dragons and battle against hundreds of others to collect them. You can feed and train your dragons, enter PvP modes with friends, and there's tons of fun events with awesome prizes every single week. You can also breed 2 different dragons together to create a new, rare, more awesome dragon than you ever had. It's a completely free-to-play game available on both Android, iOS, but also Windows and Amazon. Click the link in the description and get a special free reward, L-Chest food up to 1 million food, plus the legendary Blaze Frost Dragon. Just make sure your game is updated with the latest version. Collect tons of badass fire-breathing dragons, train them to your will, grow your collection, and prove your might as the top Dragon Master in the world. There very well may be some new, stronger opponent that comes on later down the road, but as we saw from Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 69, Granola just wished to be the strongest fighter in the universe, basically gaining his entire lifespan's worth of potential in an instant. However, the dragon that he made the wish from said he can't get power greater than gods, and considering how Goku is using a god form, i.e. Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta is learning God of Destruction power, I don't exactly see how Granola is going to beat them. Now, curiously, at the end of Chapter 70, Granola takes on the Heaters and is able to defeat them with ease. It appears that he also uses Hakai. Now, whether or not this is Hakai or some other ability is still up in the air at this point. I know fans have been arguing over it, and it doesn't really make too much sense that he'd be able to just learn Hakai with a lifespan worth of potential, but he definitely did turn an entire stone to dust just by putting his hand out. However, as Beerus stated, Hakai erases things from existence, and he turned a stone into dust, so I don't think it's the same thing, but it would be quite interesting if he goes to battle Goku and Vegeta and he starts using Ultra Instinct and Hakai power. Now, Goku and Vegeta are aware that there is some new opponent, as the Oracle Fish has been foreshadowing this for the entire arc. The new strongest fighter in the entire universe. And as we saw at the end of Chapter 70, Elec is going to point Granola towards the Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta, and there's definitely going to be a battle very soon. We also may get the return of Bardock, at least some flashbacks of his character, as we saw Granola's nightmare, as it appeared to be Bardock was breaking through his house during the Saiyan invasion on planet Cereal. So when Granola sees Goku, he very well may see Bardock in his face and flip out at that point. Now, with the heights of Goku and Vegeta right now in the manga, it seems very unlikely that just some standard life form with his full life potential would be able to come up and defeat them. You have to remember that all of the extraneous circumstances that Goku and Vegeta have gone through in order to increase their power, particularly Goku, with things like the Room of Spirit and Time, various Zenkai boosts, and the training of the gods. I simply don't see how Granola is going to be able to just come down to Earth and defeat them, but with the writing from Toyotaro, if we take a look back at the Moral arc, that seems to be the ABC storyline that he likes to follow. There's a new villain introduced, Goku and Vegeta have to fight him, Goku and Vegeta lose, they train, they get stronger, rinse and repeat until eventually Goku and Vegeta win. However, I have a feeling now that because Frieza and the Heaters are involved here, it's going to take a slightly different path. Granola may lose to Goku and Vegeta, but after learning his backstory and how much he hates Frieza, at some point Frieza is going to have to get involved here. Now, the question is, do Goku and Vegeta help Frieza or help Granola defeat Frieza? Or are they just simply hands off? I know at the very least, Goku's gonna wanna watch that fight go down. I think Vegeta would too. The problem is, we really have no idea exactly how strong Granola is at this point. We have 0 benchmarks to his power or the Heater's power. And that's kind of an issue because right now he could be, per se, as strong as Frieza was on Namek and still accomplish all of the tasks that he's done so far. So when he encounters Goku and Vegeta, Vegeta, he might get completely stomped. One thing's for sure is that this arc is just warming up, and whatever happens in the first battle with Granola versus Goku and Vegeta, there will undoubtedly be more battles to come. In fact, Elec had said that he wanted the Dragon Balls so that he could basically rule the universe and become super rich and get a control of Frieza's army, and that's his ambition. But after seeing how powerful Granola became by using the Dragon Balls, it's very possible that Elec may want to do the same as well. What if he makes a wish for all of the Heaters to reach their latent potential, and it turns out to be an all-out war between all 5 Heaters versus Granola, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza? That actually might end up to be pretty cool if it goes in that direction. Granola is inherently not a bad guy, and I could see him potentially becoming a good person and joining the Super Fighters at some point, but he only has 3 years left of his lifespan. So even if he does become a good guy, he's not going to be around for too long. I also find it quite interesting that he's somehow the strongest in the entire universe, and they never even mention Broly in that equation. Broly doesn't even have god power, and we saw how strong he was. But we also haven't gotten to see, since Granola took the wish, what his eye powers are. They were already extremely powerful before he took the wish, and now with his full life potential granted, his eye powers may be able to do absolutely crazy and incredible things, and that may perhaps turn the tide for him in battle. Perhaps his eye powers would allow him to visibly see Ultra Instinct moving at turbo speed, or standing at a long distance sniping attacks at Vegeta so he can't get close and use his destruction power. Granola is definitely crafty, he's a sniper, he's long range, he's intelligent, and he's very powerful, but can he go up against Goku and Vegeta? Now, in the circumstance that he wins the first battle, he's gonna try and kill Goku and Vegeta. Although he doesn't really seem like a murderous type of person, it's clear that he wants revenge for what the Saiyans did to his homeworld. And I don't see any way that they're gonna be able to stop him from slaughtering them if he gets the chance, so I really think that Goku and Vegeta will win the first encounter with Granola. But maybe after they explain to him about Frieza and how Frieza used the Saiyan race as pawns, he may redirect that hatred and that vengeance towards Frieza. He will ultimately chase after Frieza, and then the question is he stronger than Golden Frieza at this point? I think it's pretty clear here that Granola has to fight Frieza in this arc at some point. Now, has Goku built up enough of a relationship with Frieza to save him if he's about to die? That's a good question. Knowing Goku, he probably will spare Frieza's life. We've seen him do that way too many times throughout the anime. How is he going to convince Granola to let him spare Frieza? That I have absolutely no idea. Personally, I hope Frieza goes. I'm really tired of his character always causing trouble in the universe, and I'm hoping Granola is the end of Frieza. The question is, do they want to get rid of this beloved character that's a staple big bad in the anime that they can always use as causing more trouble and creating more problems for the heroes? My assumption is probably no. What I honestly think is going to happen is that the Heaters are going to become the main villains of this arc, particularly Elec. Considering they don't want to get rid of Frieza, and Granola's not really a bad guy, the only reasonable enemy here is the Heaters or OG-73 finding out something new. Within the next week, we're going to get the draft pages of Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 71, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications enabled. And don't forget to try Dragon City Fire Knight. You can download it with the link in the description below. Very fun game, and thanks to them for sponsoring.